Hello, dear students. Welcome to the English class. In the last period, we studied about the lesson 2 Dear. 2 Dear, it is a story of small little kingdom called Monaco. Monaco is a peaceable kingdom, but few years ago, a murder was committed in this kingdom. So, all the ministers gave the death sentence to the murderer, but there was a hitch, there was a problem to carry out the death sentence. They don't have the guillotine machine and an executioner. So, the King of Monaco asked the French government to lend the machine and an expert. For that, the French government costs 16,000 francs. The King of Monaco found it was a heavy amount to spend on the criminal. So he wanted to ask the brother monarch, Italy. The Italian government costs machine and an expert for 12,000 francs. Then also it was a heavy amount to spend on the criminal. So they decided to solve the matter in homely fashion by one of their soldiers. But no soldier is ready to cut off the head of the criminal. Then the King of Monaco called his ministers in order to consider the matter. Again the ministers think over the matter and they changed the death sentence into life imprisonment. Again there was a problem. Why? Because in that kingdom they don't have a proper strong prison for the person. After that, they somehow managed to find a strong prison for the criminal. They placed the criminal in that prison and they appointed a guard to watch out the criminal. Then, once the King of Monaco was going through the expenditures of that year, he found an extra expenditure in that list that belongs to the criminal, that is 600 francs for a year. When that King of Monaco saw the expenditure, he calculated the criminal is still young and healthy, he might live for more 50 years. Then he think that the cost to spending on the criminal was more. So again he called his ministers and the King of Monaco said to the ministers, see, again this is also more amount. Think to deal the problem in cheaper way. So all the ministers again considered the matter. They come with a plan, that with an idea they wanted to get rid of the prisoner. If they dismissed the guard, the prisoner will escape from the prison. So they dismissed the guard. They are watching the prisoner. What he did? The prisoner, at the dinner time, he came out from the prison. He saw there was no guard. He himself went to the prince's kitchen. He fetched his food and he returned back to the prison and he locked the door of the prison and he stays inside. And this went on in the next day also. After that, the ministers saw the prisoner, the criminal was not showing any interest to escape from the prison. Here they wanted to tell the criminal directly to go away from the prison. So we will start from here. We shall have to tell him straight out, said they, that we do not want to keep him. So the minister of the justice had him brought before him. They means the ministers wanted to tell the criminal straightly that we don't want to keep you here in the prison. You may go anywhere. The prince will not mind. The prince will also say nothing to you. So the criminal was presented before the minister of justice. And the minister of justice asked the criminal, "Why do you not run away?" said the minister. "See, we dismissed the guard. Then also you did not go away from the prison. Why? There is no guard to keep you. You can go where you like and the prince will not mind." See, the criminal, we don't want to keep you in the prison. So we dismissed the guard. You want to go anywhere, you can go. The prince will not say anything to you. Then see what is the reply from the criminal. That is horrible. See what the criminal says. "I dare say the prince would not mind," replied the man. "See, I dare. I am sorry. I am not telling you that if I ran away from the prison, the prince will say anything. The prince will mind. But I have another reason. So I am still here in the prison." See how horrible reply he gives. See, you wanted to send me away from the prison, but I don't want to go away from the prison. Why? Because I have some different reasons here. But I am not thinking that if I ran away from the prison, the prince will say anything. The prince will take strict actions on me then. But I have nowhere to go. What can I do? You have ruined my character by your sentence, and people will turn their back on me. See, what is the reply of the criminal? Criminal is arguing and questioning, and he is telling that by your death sentence, judgment, you ruined my character. Ruined means you spoiled my character in the society. If I return back to the society, the people will turn their backs. No one will maintain relations and friendship with me. I have nowhere to go. I don't have any place to go. Like that, the murderer, the bloody murderer, is arguing with the ruling parties, political powers, and this is called silly failure of political powers. Here, the writer presents the story very comically, but inside the comedy, there were serious ideas. Those ideas relates to the failure of political ruling, failures of legal structure in the society. And the criminal proceeds and he says, "Besides, one hand you ruined my character, so I don't have any place to go. In the other way, besides, I have got out of the way of work. For a year I did not do any work, so now I am unable to carry out any work. You have treated me badly. So like this, you spoiled my life. You have treated me badly. It is not fair. Whatever you did with me, that is not fair. In the first place, when once you sentenced me to death, you ought to have executed me." See, what is the reply of the criminal? He says, you did very bad to me. First, for my crime, you gave a death sentence. You have to cut off my heads. Why did you let me live? That mistake you did. See, again, there is a comedy in the story, and this talks about the failure of legal system. And here, this is called a silly failure of ruling party. If the criminal is arguing with the ruling party, that is a very funny corner of the society. He is the criminal and he has to obey the orders of the ruling party. But here he is arguing. Why he is arguing? Because he finds that ruling powers were lost their control over their decisions. They again and again changing their decisions. Why? They were unable to carry out, they were unable to stick to their decisions. By seeing this, the criminal is talking towards the ruling powers. See, that is one thing. I did not complain about that. See, it is not fair. Whatever you did with me, that is not good thing. Whatever you ordered, I just followed. I never complained about anything to you. ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನೀವೇನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಪಾಲಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದೆ. ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಯಾವ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಏನನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಮರು ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಿ, when once you sentenced me to the death, you ought to have executed me, but you did not do it. You did not killed me. This is one thing I did not complain about, that I didn't say anything to you. Then you sentenced me to imprisonment. Then you again changed my death sentence into life imprisonment. And you placed a guard for life and put a guard to bring me my food. But after a time you took him away again, and I had to fetch my own food. Again I did not complain. See how he is arguing. See, the criminal is telling that first you given a death sentence to me, you gave a death sentence to me, then you changed that death sentence into life imprisonment. You placed a guard. After that you took that guard, and again I am doing all my works myself. Like this you treated me badly. Now you are telling me to go away from the prison. No, I will not listen to you now. Already I obeyed every orders, but this time I will not go away from the prison. Here the criminal totally refused to go away from the prison. Say, again I did not complain, but now you actually want me to go away. Now you wanted me to send away from the prison. I can't agree to that. Now I will not agree with you. You may do as you like, but I won't go away. Whatever you want to do, you can do, but I will not go away from the prison. Next paragraph. What was to be done? Once more the council was summoned. Summoned means called. See, what was to be done? Now again, what should do with the criminal? He is not ready to go away from the prison. What courses could they adopt? What courses, procedures they must adopt to send the criminal out? The man would not go. The criminal is not going from the prison. They reflected and considered. Again they think over the matter. The only way to get rid of him was to offer him a pension. Again, the commission come to the decision. The only way to get rid of the criminal, to send the criminal out of the prison, is to offering a pension to him. So, they called the prisoner, and so they reported to the prince. This they said to the prince, "There is nothing else for it," said they. "Other than this way, there is no way to send the criminal out. We must get rid of him somehow. Anyhow, we have to get rid of the criminal. Already he was doing more expenditure. So anyway, we have to get rid of the criminal." The sum fixed was 600 francs, and this was announced to the prisoner. The sum as an annuity, 600 francs were fixed for the prisoner as a pension, and that was informed to the prisoner. The prisoner said, "Well," he said, I don't mind to take 600 francs as a pension, but I have one condition here. So long as you undertake to pay it regularly, on that condition I am willing to go. Yes, I am ready to take 600 francs as a pension, as annuity, but I have a condition. How long you are going to carry out this?" See, then he put his condition in front of the king. Again, the king think over that, and he thought, if we place the prisoner in the prison, year by year his expenditure will be more. So the king thought that until your death we will provide and we will sanction this pension for you. With that agreement, here the criminal and the king and the prince made an agreement that this 600 francs as an annuity he must provide him for his until his death. With this agreement, with this settlement, the criminal went away from the prison. Okay, see. So the matter was settled between the king and the criminal. The king is ready and the king is agreed to sanction that pension until his death. With this settlement, the criminal, he received 1/3 of his annuity. Annuity means varshika. Annuity in advance. Whatever the pension is, in 1/3 of his pension he took in advance and left the king's domain. Domain means area, kingdom. He left the king's domain. It was only a quarter of an hour by rail, and he travelled by rail, and after a quarter of an hour travelling, there he emigrated. Emigrate means walase ho. He emigrated to the another place and settled just across the frontier. Frontier means sarhad, boundaries. Just he settled across the frontier of the king's domain. There, where he bought a bit of land, there he purchased a small land, started market gardening. He started growing vegetables, market gardening there. Like this, the criminal was leading his life after releasing by the prison. And now living comfortably. Now he was leading happy and comfortable life. He always goes at the proper time to draw his pension. Having received it, he goes to the gaming table, stocks 2 or 3 francs, sometime wins and sometime loses, and then returns home. He lives peacefully and well. See, the murderer was leading happy life in the kingdom. See, at the proper time he used to return back to the kingdom. He used to draw his pension, and after receiving that pension, he visits gaming houses of the kingdom. There he stocks 2 to 3 francs. Sometimes he wins or sometimes he loses, and then he returns back to his home. Like this, he was leading happy life in the kingdom. So the writer says here, when the writer concludes the story that murderer was leading a happy life in the kingdom, the writer says, it is a good thing that he did not commit his crime in a country where they do not grudge. Grudge means regret. Grudge expense to cut a man's head off or to keep him in the prison for life. See, here the writer Count Leo Tolstoy says the criminal must thank God here. Why? Because he did not committed a murder in the country that the country powers cannot find to cut off the criminal's head or to maintain the criminal, to keep the criminal in the prison. So he is very lucky, otherwise his condition would be different here. Now he is lucky that he committed a murder in the country like Monaco. So that murderer was leading a happy life with these comic elements. As I told, Count Leo Tolstoy uplifted how Russian ruling powers failed to control the legal system of the society. And one more idea he says, the legal system of the society must be strict. And why they must maintain the strict legal system? Because that is going to control the crimes of the society. Whatever the punishment they were going to give the criminal, that is going to affect the others. That is going to give a lesson to the others. By this way, the powers were going to control the society. But here, totally they fail by altering their death sentence again and again. And with this he talks about the loopholes of the Russian society. The name of the story is Too Dear. Too dear means too expensive. Why? Because keeping the criminal and killing the criminal is too expensive in the country like Monaco. So the title is also comic one. What is too expensive in the story? Killing the criminal, beheading the criminal's head is too expensive for the king, and keeping the criminal in the prison is too expensive for the king. So the story is very much a funny one. With this, some serious questions will arise. Those relates to the Russian ruling powers. Okay, dear students, now we will proceed towards the question answers. Objective type question answers. Why was Monaco called a tiny kingdom? The kingdom Monaco has less land and less population of 7,000, so it was called as a toy kingdom. Name the commodities taxed in Monaco. Tobacco, wine, spirit and poll tax were commodities taxed in the Monaco. What was the source of king's special revenue? Gaming houses were the source of king's special revenue. Who were its beneficiaries? King and his courtiers were the beneficiaries of the gaming houses. Why did the Germans stop gaming houses in their country? And how did it benefit Monaco? Germans stopped gaming houses. Why? Because these gaming houses harmed the people so much, so they banned. But it benefited Monaco. The king of Monaco allowed these gaming houses because that was the special source of income for him. When all the other countries banned, all the people of the other countries used to come to the Monaco in order to play roulette in order to play gambling. So he was benefited. He was benefited with the gaming houses. What was the punishment given to the murderer? Murderer was death sentenced. The death sentence was converted into life imprisonment because carrying out the death sentence was expensive in the kingdom called Monaco. So he was the death sentence was changed into life imprisonment. How much did the king spend annually on the criminal? 600 francs. On what condition did the criminal agree to go away from the prison? The criminal make a settlement that the king must sanction his pension until his death. With that condition, the criminal agreed to go away from the prison. How was his demand fulfilled? King agreed to sanction pension amount until his death. With the fulfillment of his demand, he went away from the prison. Okay, these were important objective type questions. Now we will proceed towards the comprehension second. Here, dear students, on this lesson 4 possibility questions were there. The first question will be asked on the structure of Monaco kingdom, how that king of Monaco maintains his kingdom, what were the business and taxes he was collecting from the people. All those things in detail you have to write. On that aspect you will get one long answer type question and one more. Why the king of Monaco keep changing, altering the death sentence again and again? For that, on that aspect also you will find one more long answer type. And one more aspect of the story is the criminal was reluctant. He don't want to go away from the prison. Why the criminal was reluctant to go away from the prison? In that aspect also you can find one more long answer type. In the last part of the story there, after releasing from the prison, how does the criminal lead his life? In that aspect also you will find one more long answer type. Like this 4 major possibilities are there. On that aspect you are going to find long answers. Okay, dear students, see. Though gambling is a dirty business, why does the king of Monaco resort to it? Resort to means stick to it. He allowed gaming business in his country, knowing the business is dirty business, knowing that all the other countries banned gaming business. Why? Because the king was benefited and that was the special source of income for him, so he allowed gaming business. All this you have to write in detail for 4 marks. Why did the king of Monaco keep changing his mind in dealing with the criminal? Why? Because king of Monaco find cutting the criminal's head as expensive and keeping the criminal in the prison as expensive. So always he go on changing the judgment. So this you have to write in detail for 4 marks. Then, why was the criminal reluctant to go out of the prison? See, why was the criminal don't want to go out of the prison? Why? Because he said the prince, the ruling powers ruled his character with the death sentence and he don't have any place to go. Moreover, he was steered away and he was turned away from the work. Now he is unable to work. With all these reasons, he don't want to go away from the prison. These you have to write in detail. Then, how did the criminal lead his life after his release? He led his life comfortably. Now only we studied that. Comfortably. He purchased a bit of land. He started market business. and at proper time he used to return back to the king's domain. He received by receiving his annuity as pension, and after receiving that pension he used to visit the gaming houses of the country. There he stocks 2 to 3 francs. Sometimes he wins and sometimes he loses. Then he returns back to his home. Like this he was leading happy and comfortable life. Okay, in detail you have to write for the 4 marks. These are the major four possibilities of 4 marks. Then comprehension third. You can't earn stone palace by honest labor. Justify with reference to the story. Here at the starting of the story we find that this king of Monaco was allowing dirty business in his country, but he was covering all his mistakes under the proverb called no one earns stone palace by honest labor. Why? Because he says, I am not only culprit here who is allowing this dirty business in his country. Other countries are also collecting the taxes on wine and tobacco. That is also not a good idea. Then also they are dragging, they are taking and they are collecting money from the people. Like this he gives justification, his own justification for the allowing dirty business in his country. That in detail you have to write. Though the trial and imprisonment of the criminal is depicted in a comic mood in this story, it does give a rise to serious questions. What are they? See, alterations in the death sentence, cutting the head of the criminal is costly, and keeping the criminal in the prison is costly. So again and again they changed the judgment. See, here we find somewhat comedy, somewhat funny elements are there when that criminal was arguing with the prince, arguing with the ministers. That is too comic one. Why? Because with this, as I told, the writer uprises the silly failure of Russian society and failure of legal systems in the society. These serious questions will arise with these comic elements. Okay, dear students, these things you have to write in detail. Were there other ways of dealing with the criminal? Were there any other ways in dealing with the criminal? Yes, of course, there were other ways. See, in spite of sending the criminal out from the prison, the prince may keep him in the prison, but he must allow him to do some work, productive work. With that, the king also can earn some money. In that money, he can spend that money on the criminal. Like this, he can maintain the criminal in the prison, but he shows his foolishness and he sent out of the criminal, and that shows his weakness and loopholes of the ruling. Discuss in light of the story. See, like this, here we find the loopholes of the political structure of Russian society. Okay, this is about the story. Dear students, what is 2 dear? Cutting the heads of the criminal is 2 dear. 2 dear means too costly, and keeping the prisoner in the prison is 2 dear, means too costly. This is about the story, and we will move to the next one. Okay, dear students, thank you one and all.